Now, the PKTT then gets established, you are involved, Khumalo is involved, you are running the thing. You are in charge of this team. And one morning you wake up to hear that dockets are in Pretoria of something that is your baby. What happened there? Did your own team got so compromised that when they were told to bring the dockets, they could not give you a hint that someone is calling for dockets in Pretoria? Because the way you're explaining the relationship and the engagement you had with this PKTT, it's in such a way that it's so intimate that no one can just come and say to them, do this, and then they don't bounce it back with you before they act. What really happened there? Was PKTT infiltrated and compromised, and an underground operation took place and took the dockets to Pretoria without your knowledge?
Honourable Member, I'll invite you, perhaps, if it does happen, that General Khumalo arrives here and appears before this ad hoc committee to be able to explain, because he's the one that gave the instruction to the members to bring the dockets to Pretoria. I said yesterday, and I'm saying again, I was not very pleased with him, because when all that happened, he had not told me about what was happening. So when I was engaging with him, as I was confronting him, he said, you know what, there's just too much politics. I've been complaining about SBIA ever since to the National Commissioner, but whatever I say doesn't matter, it seems like it. And the SBIA continue doing what it's doing. While this side is having the crime intelligence that he's trying to deal with, and he's having challenges there, and he's seeking assistance from the head office, from the national office, and he's not getting the assistance. So it's a man who started getting frustrated. And I think when this thing came to him, he just felt, maybe let me just get rid of this, because the National Commission maybe is not assisting and stopping it. Let me push it aside and focus on my things. And that's why he omitted to then make me aware. He simply gave instruction to a colonel. He said, Colonel, go and fetch the dockets, let the investigation bring them here, as per this letter. So that colonel told the ones in Durban, they said, bring these dockets, and the dockets were transported. That's how the dockets ended up in Pretoria. When I became aware is when they wanted to bring these dockets back. That's when I asked him, because when I heard about it, I wrote him a letter. I said, I'm told these dockets are in Pretoria. How did it happen? That's when they responded to say they were moved in this fashion.
I understand that, General, about Khumalo, but your members, the individual members who are in the PKTT, who've got this high credibility and are executing the task expected as their commander, as someone that you work with, apart from whether Colonel called them or Khumalo, why didn't one of them communicate with you? Because this is, I'm trying to establish this effective machinery that you are saying. This is the most effective machinery we have at SAPS. Why is not the senior ranks, these investigators, these people who are dealing with the actual issues, why are they not giving you that information that General Khumalo or whoever said we must bring the dockets to Pretoria? Only to hear after. I mean, you gave a very good example that someone comes into your house, he takes your things, and then he goes away with them and says, when I was at your house, I took 1, 2, 3, 4. No one can do that at my house. It will never happen. That you come into my house and take something and I don't know about it. So what really happened to these members who are so loyal and so active and so disciplined that they can't tell their commander, only to be embarrassed that his dockets are in Pretoria?
Yeah, honorable members, the command and control, when it's effective, such then happens. Because our structure and our working arrangement was that the members that are doing the job, they understand and they know their commanders. They don't bypass that process. The center was holding. So at the center of this operation was General Khumalo. So when I was getting briefing, Khumalo and the leaders of certain groups will come and brief me about the work they do. I will not engage with the individual member directly. So I was always engaging them in a formal structure all the time when I'm engaging with them. So the problem started in January, as I said. I also learned from General Khumalo that the members are not happy. So when I asked him, what do you mean the members are not happy? He said, because they were supposed to get awards, during the Excellence Awards, and their names have been removed. They are told they are no longer going to be recognized with anything. That's when I went to meet with the members myself. Because when he phoned me, he told me that the members are not happy. So I went to meet with them. For the first time, I had a one-on-one with them. And I asked him, they said, Gerald, we are disappointed. I still said to them, I'm going to give my allocation of one table of 10 people. Come as my guest. Come and sit there. They said, no, we appreciate Gerald, but it's better we don't come. So that was the first time where I had a one-on-one engagement where I got to feel the pain in their eyes. This is January, long before the letter is written. The dockets are taken. I started feeling the pain in their faces in January. Fast forward, the same January or February, there's this instruction of the reduction of the workforce of this team. At that time, I conclude that it is because of the budgetary constraint. That because the budget approval has been reduced, we can therefore not have this total workforce that we had. I accepted that. We are running towards the end of the financial year, reprioritization that must happen. So I did not challenge it. But then the financial year starts in April. Obviously, the budget might not be allocated almost immediately. But again, the team that is authorized to continue the work as a new submission is made in April 2024, it still speaks about the reduced number of deployments. So I concluded that it means the challenge is the budget. That's why the reduced number. So knowing the challenges we have, financial challenges we have as an organization, as a country as a whole, I couldn't challenge that much. I said, okay, well, we'll do with the less number of members maybe going forward. But when this communication of DOC has been taken up to Pretoria came, I then realized, but these problems started back then, the letter, the members not getting rewards, and the members are starting to question themselves from January about the work they are doing, whether they are upsetting the executive and why the executive is treating them like this, up until the period when these dockets in March are taken up to Pretoria. So it's already a couple of months back, and that's why the members, I think, they became numb to complain about anything, and they didn't say anything. They just kept quiet.
So when they arrive in Pretoria, these dockets, they are put under Sibia.
Sibia is in charge of both crime intelligence and detective. It is my understanding that Sibia wrote to the Divisional Commission of Crime of Detectives, Gerald Sentumole, to take these dockets from crime intelligence. So I don't see on the directive where did he want these dockets to go to. But it's my understanding that the docket were kept at the office of a brigadier under General Sentumule's office. Of course, Gerald Sibia remains the boss overall. So meaning he has access to those dockets in one way or another.
Of the 121, there were 5 dockets which had clear instructions of arrest.
That's correct.
What happened to those dockets? Are they? Have you arrested people since the dockets are back? Have you arrested people? How far are these cases? And if they still remain unresolved, what is the issue?
We are still looking for the other suspect, but 2 of the suspects have been arrested on those dockets, and one of the suspects unfortunately died. I think he was already identified, but he died, so he couldn't be charged no more. But the others, we are still looking for them.
General, what do you mean the minister you met at Mbangeni and the minister you met in this letter are not the same people?
They're totally different people.
Why?
I asked myself the same question, I don't remember, because when I approached the chief of staff, when I called him on the 2nd of January after learning of the letter, after seeing the letter, it was my understanding that the relationship between me and him will allow for him to secure the meeting with the minister, as he did before the minister came into the police. He was able to say, oh, you are the provincial commissioner, I know the minister, so that he get to know you since you are policing his environment. He doesn't live here, he works at Department of Water Affairs, so come and meet him. So we met. It was a meeting, one of the elders and one of the senior government leaders in the province. It was not a problem because we just did that unofficially. So when it's time for us to talk business, I expected the minister is going to open his arms and say, I know you're already through Nkabinde, come. But that never happened. And that's where I started wondering what could be the reason behind it. But when he's in front of me, he smiles all the time. But this, what I'm asking for, is not happening.
Now, if you say the minister did not write a letter, and this is not the same person I see who smiles all the time when we meet, and the one that I see in the letter, two different people, will that be an excuse that someone gave a minister a letter and the minister signed? Because he doesn't dispute that is his signature. Once he signs, that is his letter. And we can't say minister didn't know, someone misled the minister, because I don't understand which angle are you trying to take there. The minister signed a letter. Even if he said, I didn't read the letter, I just signed it. It is his signature. It means he didn't do his own duties by making sure that he reads through the documents before he signs them. Is there any excuse why shouldn't we hold this letter against the minister himself as his own letter?
Well, it is the minister's letter. When I registered a complaint, a criminal complaint, minister is one of the suspects that I'm pursuing in that complaint I have, because he's the author of this chaos.
How far is that case?
The chaos. This is a real chaos.
Yeah. Now, how far is that case you complained about this?
It's still an investigation. I'm not part of it because I rely on the prosecution in KZN and the team investigating to brief me from time to time. But the progress they shared with me 2 weeks ago, I was quite pleased with the progress that they're making. The minister owns a letter. He signs it. It's his letter. However, if we're to fix the problem, it is my belief that we must go beyond